I'd just like to give a bit of a round of applause, but also I'd like to tell you a little story, if I can, just before I hand over to Michael Avery. My mother-in-law passed away a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And, of course, there's an estate which has to be wrapped up and so on and so forth. There were some complications because she didn't live here and so on and so forth. Lived up north in Zim. And with Capital Legacy, we actually employed them because there was some of the estate was here. And for 2 years, they've been working quite hard at it. Not full 2 years, but there's things that have to happen in the estate, blah, blah, blah. But let me tell you, they are the most professional people that I've ever dealt with. So if you haven't got a will, or if you haven't used their services, I'd suggest you do so. Because I have been nothing but really, really impressed with the team. They, give you all the feedback you need. They do all the work. They do everything. They really are good. My little personal endorsement this afternoon, because it was wrapped up sort of like today, Friday today, and I thought it was worth mentioning. They really have been very good. Capital Legacy, a number one provider of wills and estates, so it just makes sense that they also now offer life.
Yeah, hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining me in Solomon's Temple. I'm Solomon Nizange Shams. So good to be with you. Thank you. Everybody coming in. I see you guys coming in. Thank you, Boyd. Good to have you here also. Good morning. Good afternoon to some of you guys, wherever you are. Good evening to some of you guys, because I know you guys are all across the world. Thank you so much for being here. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Solomon's Temple. Check out all the videos that I've made. Please make sure you check out all the videos that I made. And also don't forget, we're doing a training on how to create a YouTube channel and also how to manage your YouTube channel. How do I create my YouTube channel and also run it? How do I monetize my YouTube channel? How do I get to the required 1,000 subscribers? That's what we're going to be talking about. If you're interested, WhatsApp me on +27 82212 9438. I've had quite a couple of people messaging me, so I'm going to break it into 2 groups. Or even 3 groups, because I want to concentrate on each individual. I don't just want to give a general masterclass, YouTube masterclass. I want to concentrate on, okay, this is what you want to do on YouTube. This is what you've created. This is your content. I want to concentrate on your content. I want to concentrate on areas where you didn't do right, areas where you could do better, what you need to do. That's what I want to concentrate. That's why I don't want to take a big group. So if I get a lot of people, now we have over 20 people, but we're going to break it down into like 10, 12 groups, not more than 12, just so I can concentrate on each person. So please WhatsApp me so we can talk about that. So I want to talk about a situation that just happened in Durban, South Africa. There's a church called Full Gospel Church of God. It's some sort of charismatic or maybe conservative charismatic Pentecostal church. He's been around for a very, very, very long time. In a place called Edgecombe in Durban, north of Durban, South Africa, there was a pastor who was there for over 40 years, served, and his wife also a honorary pastor. So it means she can basically lead a congregation. And he passed away, and then they tried to kick her, but the congregation is saying, no, we want her to lead us. Right? They're saying she doesn't have the qualification, but the same church had made her honorary pastor. It means she could practice within the Full Gospel Church of God congregation. And I feel this is a sense of really oppressing women. It's a case of injustice to women. It's a case of not tolerating women, not giving women what they deserve. I actually just came off the phone now speaking to the daughter. And I'm going to bring the daughter and other people who have the same sort of experience of discrimination based on gender around Full Gospel Church. And I'm going to bring them here, interview them and speak to them. So it seems like they've had this prevalent issue around the Full Gospel Church. But here is a report that I want to play with you, just so you can get an overview of the situation. So I want you to listen, carefully, get an overview of the situation, what happened, and also the different people, what they have to say.
It's been just over 4 months since one of the stalwarts in the Christian faith passed away. Pastor Mark Naidu was well known in the Durban community for his selfless and sacrificial service. Together with his wife Selvi, they served in ministry at the Angelus Mission Church for 31 years. Of these, Pastor Selvi has been working as an administrator at the church in a full-time capacity for the past 14 years, along with fulfilling her pastoral duties. After tragically losing her husband, nothing could have prepared her for what she would have to face over the past 4 months. Instead of being offered counseling or being allowed time to grieve the loss of her husband, the Full Gospel Church almost immediately began the process of appointing a new pastor. Many congregants requested that Pastor Salve be allowed to take over the reins of the church due to the relationship she developed with them over her many years of ministry. However, they were told that she does not qualify for the position. This despite her willingness to study further to meet the requirements of the Full Gospel Church. One of the leaders at the church, Jessica Pele, says Naidu has been the backbone of the church for more than 3 decades. However, she is now being excluded from all key decision making. She is entitled to take forward our society today, and we still discriminated against because we're women. Being on the electoral college of the church, I'm the only female. I've also been discriminated against. There are times that I'm excluded from meetings without being informed. The problem, it seems, is not limited to this denomination. In a separate incident, another KwaZulu-Natal female pastor suffered a similar fate when her husband passed away last year. Without any discussion, she was stripped of her title and cast aside. Her daughter-in-law, who spoke to SABC News on condition of anonymity, says her mother-in-law was ostracized as a religious leader simply because she is a woman who is deemed unfit to lead without a man. When he passed away, the holding church, they came in and they appointed a lead pastor together with some assistant pastors, but that was done with no consultation with my mom-in-law. They were both ordained pastors of this ministry. So she was basically sidelined. You know, it's the unspoken rule that you need your husband to be with you. A woman is not allowed to be a pastor or cannot manage the congregation on his own. So basically, you're doing this for 35 years and then, the rug is pulled from under your feet. Meanwhile, the Secretary General of the International Federation of Christian Churches, Geert Koza says the church should be setting an example in society on how to treat men and women fairly.
That is sad that in 2022, women are still suffering this sidelining based on their gender. If we're trying to change our society, if we're trying to deal with a gender base, if we're trying to deal with inequality, the church must be a role model of society. And if you go through the church history, you will see the role of women in the development of the churches. And so to find women not fit to take executive role or even senior pastor's role is very sad, while they are saying that they can do every other work except this particular job. And I think it's wrong.
The Commission for Gender Equality says it views the allegations against the church seriously and will be investigating. Spokesperson Javu Baloy.
The Commission for Gender Equality hereby confirms that we have received 3 complaints pertaining to a matter involving a church in KwaZulu-Natal. As a Commission for Gender Equality, we are following our internal processes and will communicate with the relevant people who have lodged the complaint. The Commission takes this seriously and we view it as in a serious light. And as a Commission, we will be guided by our legal department on the next course of action.
In a written response to a request for an interview with SABC News, the Full Gospel Church of God said that Naidu had performed certain administrative duties within the church as the wife of the pastor, and that the position of administrator was offered to her to provide her with financial and job security. It added that Naidu does not qualify for the position as pastor in terms of the constitution of the church. Prabhashni Mudli, SABC News, Johannesburg.
So this is a report by the SABC, and I just spoke to the daughter of this woman who's with her husband. They've served the church for over 40 years. And remember, the church made her an honorary pastor, gave her the license to pastor, to preach. But then all of a sudden, her husband passed away. The congregation wants her to pastor them, to continue pastoring them. And now they're trying to make her an office, what do you call it? Office admin, office assistant. What is wrong? Because she's a woman? Because now they're bringing another man to take over. What is wrong with this church? Especially when the congregation is saying, majority of the congregation is saying, she is the one that we want. They've been pastoring the church. The church is about 600 people. They've been pastoring the church for the last 40 years. All of a sudden, because her husband passed away, now you're kicking her out. So, in the Full Gospel Church, are you trying to say the relevance of a woman depends on the husband? A woman cannot go into leadership except the husband is there, or you have few women in leadership. This is alarming. This is shocking. This is sad. And this would only break people's heart and break the church, because if you don't allow her to continue, which is what the majority of the congregation wants, then a lot of people are going to leave the church hurt, bitter, disappointed. So I think the Full Gospel need to rethink all this. And I'm going to be bringing you an interview with people from the family of this woman, interviewing people who have had experiences around the Full Gospel Church, women that couldn't do certain things, were not allowed to do certain things because they are women. When are we going to? I'm not part of the church that feels that a woman has limitations to what she can become, to what leadership role or position she can serve in the church. I'm not cut from that cloth. I believe God has anointed each and every one of us to preach the good news, to set the captives free. God has not just anointed men, He's anointed all of us. So this is really sad. I tell you, this is really sad. Anyway, thank you so much. God bless you. I'll catch you again later. Please make sure you subscribe. Shalom.